So in the beginning of movie, we see that many of the company's workers had come to the sea to do drilling. That is, to dig to find something in the sea. After hard work. But then Rick's manager Magnus gets a call from the head of the company, who tells him that the helicopters that were coming to pick you up are going somewhere else due to an emergency. Rick means a place in the middle of the sea, which has a lot of ships. Now, when Magnus asks when my workers will come to pick me up, the call gets disconnected. Then the whole communication system of the place also gets disconnected, through which they can contact anyone. Because of which the doctor who was calling home, call gets cut and the radio system of the electrician named Fulmer gets disconnected. Calls a meeting in which says that the helicopters are not coming to pick us up at the moment, because of which all those people get very worried. The old man asks again and again that why are the helicopters not coming. Now suddenly Fulmer all sees the lights that also turn off. A few lights are running from the generator, and the pressure of Rick's main EC is also quite good. But if the pressure increases, when Fulmer then everyone will die. Finds out that the same problem is happening to. Now Rick starts shaking badly. Main EC catches fire. Now the female worker of the company, who is a scientist, does not want to shut down the system. But Magnus tells worker that T is no work. People's lives are important, so all the systems should be shut down immediately. And now the whole place is filled with thick fog. Now one of the workers suspects that we have not drilled too deep in the sea, that is, we have not dug deep, because of which the earthquake is shaking. But the scientist says that no, nothing like that happens, after which Magnus sends Fulmer and Anna worker, Bass, up to check the communication system. Sees a dead bird. Magnus and the old man were standing down and waiting for him to come. That's when Bass comes down from above and falls. Then the scientist and the doctor quickly take the medical kit and reach him, so that if he's injured, they can treat him. Fulmer also comes down and tells that was standing behind me, but I don't know what happened. Suddenly fell, but the old man does not believe clip rope was open, from whichful. The doctor also brings Bass to the medical room and tries to cure him, but latter tells that without the surgery room and equipment, cannot be cured. The scientist shows Magnus that T is no pressure in the pipes at all, and T is the condition in the meantime, of all the rigs Bass in comes the area. To senses and begins to think, in which sees that two parts of the sea old man secretly picks up the company's secret file from Magnus's office, which he gets all the workers angry and tells them that the company was lying to us. In the meantime, Magnus also comes from witches to admit that yes, the company is banning T project, because of which very soon all your jobs are going to go. All T that at that time did not know from where the ash began to fall, because T was no volcano nearby, which was not a volcano. Then Bass also comes he tells that it has been a long time now. The destruction has begun, says so, then later when comes to senses, did not remember anything that I had fallen from above or I had talked about destruction. He just says that when I was up, I saw something in the fog, after which a strange kind of sound started coming in my mind. Unable to listen to him, the doctor starts taking blood as a sample, because of which gets angry. He says that you people ignored my warning and did not do well, and now a big wave is coming. But as soon as the doctor puts him to sleep and tells the scientist that it is surprising that wounds are healing after on their own, when Bass wakes up, looks at arms that T is something shiny T and it is healing wounds. Everyone sees that their ship is trying to contact them, but it is moving forward in the wrong place. To see the message, Magnus sends a worker. Then it is found that the ship is asking for help from them. Magnus tells the filmer to send him signals through the lights and find out what knows about T eruption. The old man was locked in the room, because of which was going crazy continuously trying to break the door. In the medical room, Bass sees that wounds have healed. When looks at himself in the mirror, thinks that rig is being destroyed. He then comes out of and comes to the room and wears the worker's clothes. Has a severe headache and sleeping tooth breaks and comes out. Seeing Ra, the scientist says that I am not feeling well. I am investigating T, so until then everyone stay inside. The filmer comes and tells them that the communication system of our ship and if you wait for the morning, it will crash into something and be destroyed. We have to burn these lights. On which the scientist says that because of the company contract, we cannot do T, otherwise we can also be prosecuted. But we cannot lose so many lives in the name of the contract. So Filmer, you burn all the lights. Now Bas starts doing strange things. He starts making a round diary on the window. Then when the worker asks about T, tells that I have a severe headache and I am so tired that I have started thinking that I should have died in that incident. As soon as the room's light was flickering, Bas again thought of something that was so scary that T Timoran away from E. The old man had also broken the window. A worker steals and drinks alcohol. As soon as goes to take a bath, whole body starts aching. He vomits, and the darkness of tattoo also starts coming out of body. But after a while, when the doctor's companion comes to and sees, had when died the scientist by then, also sees him, does not understand. But when a worker shows him the gold of Bas, understands that all the useless things are coming out of body. Then when Filmer goes out with companion to check the ship, the old man was already T, who comes inside and closes the door. Filmer's hands get injured during work, and now that path also stops falling. The old man comes inside and goes to the control room and sends a signal of help through the lights, because of which ship is now coming at full speed. Seeing T, Filmer and companion try to go inside, but the door was closed. That's why Filmer starts screaming. Hearing the voice, Magnus and the doctor's companion Kami open the door and go and stop when the Magnus old man. Explains that instead of lying down, send a message in the ship Thetis going the wrong way. A worker goes to Bas through the lights, who was standing outside. He tells him to come inside, but Bas refuses him, saying that I want to see the creature of water that is doing all tea. Now as the worker goes to him, grabs neck and pulls out the water from mouth. Now a worker comes and tells him that because of the change in the side of the ship, a very large layer is coming inside quickly. Hearing T, Bas leaves him T and runs inside alone. Magnus comes and tries to bring that worker to senses, but was dead. When the scientist puts blood on the ash, it is found that T are some small animals in the ash. She then calls Magnus and the doctor and tells them that by examining the ash, it has been found that T are some animals which are in search of such a person whose body they could not protect and included him with them. Whoever's body they enter, it quickly cures wounds because a strong body is needed to spread those insects. That's why we have to stay away from the ash, and like Bas, all the people who have wounds in their bodies will have to be protected. Magnus says that I don't feel anything right in Bas. Take samples of everyone's blood, which we will mix with Bas's blood, the smoke starts to go away, and the nearby river is completely destroyed. Looking at the scientist's research papers, but as soon as the smoke comes, he gets angry. In the meantime, the scientist comes and sees that Bas has taken blood sample. As soon as asks for the sample, steals it and runs away from E, which Mians can do the testing. Because of T, Magnus says, let's do T, check the odd injured people. After which calls a meeting, in which tells everyone that from now on we will work into teams. One team will check the whole rig well, and the odd team will find Bas. Through research, the scientist finds out that these small insects are of the dinosaur era, whose extinction was with the dinosaurs. But it seems that because of drilling in T River, they have come back to life. Bas throws blood sample into the water, and now all wounds were completely cured. To test, puts hand in the water tank, due to which all the water is filled with small insects. But as soon as Bas's companion comes, he hides quickly. As soon as friend sees those small insects in the water, starts calling out to the rest. But Bas attacks him and runs away from E. Then two workers come and pick him up and see that instead of those small insects, plants have grown. Now Bas's friend's tooth is also starting to come out, which means Thetis also now infected. It means that whatever was E, it had also come under influence. He was so scared because of T that kills a worker and runs away from E. When the companion of the doctor comes down, sees that Bas is growing plants that I have come to know from a very old memory that the creatures of T place are being killed. And if they are not saved, then they will not be able to survive. Bas's friend also comes and agrees with him. But now as the old man comes, they both run away from E. Fulmer Lato is fine, but had forgotten the fire of the main issue. He had to put fire in it again, otherwise it would be destroyed. Due to which the destruction of the rig is also confirmed, But all the control of that main part you can spread the infection because it is a shiny thing and small insects are T. Someone will have to go up and put fire in the main part. Then a worker takes care of all the control himself and sends Fulmer to the main part. He moves forward and puts a very good aim and puts fire in the main part. But Fulmer himself was very injured. After Wick immediately brought to the medical room. In the lower part, where Bass was, thoughts are getting more and more terrible. He sees that if these small insects have to be saved, then the whole rig system will have to be shut down. Fulmer gets well again and starts research, but unknowingly makes the same round circle on the copy as Bass had made. Magnus calls everyone to the control room. Because Bass, who is in the control room below, all the safety of the rig is being lost. Due to which the pressure was increasing more than the limit. Now they send a camera device in the water and see that due to the earthquake, a lot of round circles are being made on the ground. Fulmer of drawing. Now, because of T, a worker goes down to the control room area and stops the system due to which Bass's plan was failed. He gets very angry. He starts hacking the direct system from the computer again. But an alarm goes off T. Due to Wick not able to succeed in plan, a message goes to a worker from which it is found that the communication system has been repaired. Magnus also immediately messages the guard to ask for help. While Fulmer tries to find out about those round circles. T. When the doctor was talking to Sister, then the earthquake starts moving towards the ground. Due to which the signals as well as the internet stop working to a large extent. The guard could not get the message of Magnus, which was sent to help him. With the help of the strength of those small insects, Bass tries to contact Fulmer's body. Due to which wounds start increasing. Along with T, Bass's voice starts coming in Fulmer's mind. That's why he goes to the bathroom to see wounds. Now, while looking for him, the scientist also comes in. Fulmer is shocked because for a moment saw the shadow of Bass in the mirror. He tells the scientist about all T, which was happening to him, on which gives him relief. Now Fulmer remembers that when Bass is calling him, goes away. After a while, the scientist comes to see him. We does not find him, but finds a knot left behind. And the doctor see that Fulmer is going to the lower part. They also follow those shiny things and small insects do not bite the doctor, but start roaming around which him. The scientist takes him away from the rig. All the people were very happy. Because a ship was coming towards them from a nearby rig. After coming to the ship, the scientist meets the senior, who used to work in the research lab. The senior goes straight to the control room. Of the people coming that if T is any injury. One worker was very surprised to see that my companion has also come in the same ship. Now that senior tells that due to high pressure, my rig was torn. The scientist asks him why was sent to T rig, for which does not answer. Now that newcomer worker tells that when T senior came in our rig, he sent a lot of tools to the seabed. Because was not removing the oil, but was sending something else down with the tools. After which the fog came and people started disappearing. But the senior was still normal. Looking at him, it seemed as if wanted T. He did not care about increasing the pressure at all. In fact, sent the tool and what wanted to test, just paid attention to it. Because of which our entire rig was destroyed. But before the rig was destroyed, deleted all the data of the company was also mailing him and the company, which meant that knew all T from the beginning. And the company had deliberately sent him E. Looking at the research of the doctor scientist, it is said that T circle is the recognition and the fifth circle is of destruction, which is spreading, which means we are going to die very soon. The senior tells that the infected people in my rig had set fire to the oil well. So that all these deadly insects are killed. He then says that I want to send some people to the main part. But Magnus refuses, saying that no, I can't put my people in danger. T. Fulmer also meets BAAs and companions. BAAs tells that these insects will soon spread throughout my body. The senior tells that to stop BAAs, we will have to take carbon dioxide in the ventilation system, which is carbon dioxide we will take through the puffier cylinders. Then when the senior brings the cylinders, a worker doubts. Because it was written in it that in addition to carbon dioxide, something else has the cylinders added to the lower part we BAAs is. In addition, they also connect the cylinders connection to the ventilation system, who was in a bad condition because of Amit's blood, from which they understand Thetis dying due to the high carbon dioxide. The plants are also dying because of T. was the senior's plan. That's why the old man and Anit worker run away from T. But one worker stays T with Boz's
Fulmer
then tries to shut down the ventilation system.
Butte and BAAs both faint.
The doctor sees that after the two of them came out, the senior closed all the doors of the lower
because
part.
Of T, the companion who had stopped because of Boz's friend was stuck inside.
Condition gets so bad that these. Now everyone comes and asks the senior that although it was dangerous,
then why did
you mix carbon dioxide in the ventilation system? Then says that T is not a danger, but it is a way to stay alive. To shut down the ventilation system, the scientist goes to the lower part. Fulmer was also lying
tries to bring him to
consciousness, but does
but
not
now
come.
As soon as Bud's hand on the plants, Fulmer's eyes open.
She came to consciousness, after which they both leave.
Boz's eyes were also open.
She also came to consciousness. And now that fifth circle was also closed. Neha Valkar tells that the senior increased the test tube so that to the rig gets destroyed and all these small
after
insects
which the
get
senior
killed.
Came with us through a small boat and left many people to die. T.
Then when Magnus talks to the senior about T, says that T is the policy of
that
my
no
company.
matter
what happens, we will not leave drilling. So that's why the company has sent me to kill those animals and insects. Because if they are not wiped out, they will spread all over the world. And to stay alive, we will have to kill all these infected people. But the scientist does not agree with T at all. She says that Fulmer can give us a better suggestion than BAAs feels that these insects are banning the system in my body. After which an earthquake comes in. Fulmer tries to contact BAAs, from which it is found that these animals, these insects are cleaning the entire sea. But a scientist says that the number of insects is very high, so attacking them will be of no use. We should talk to BAAs only can stop them, because only can connect with these insects, can talk. After which when those three go to the lower part, then BAAs is crying
that it is too late, I failed in my work. Everyone knew about the senior's intentions.
That's why says to the new worker that if you support me, then I can save you and your companion from me. Now T worker was suspicious that the senior should not destroy T-Rig on the microphone, because of which everyone on the speaker starts listening to the senior's when the earthquake starts, the senior starts the system to destroy the rig. At the
same time, the helicopters also came
but because the senior wants to survive alone, comes up.
Seeing him, the doctor and companion follow
while
him.
The new worker and companion try to stop the explosion. He then goes and tells everyone that we have stopped the explosion, but T is going to be devastation.
We have to get out of
Tsunami
soon.
is
Before
going to
leaving,
come. The old man hits the senior hard.
Now the earthquake was increasing, succumbs out of the lower part.
But BAAs decides to stop because wants to prove in front of these insects that T are some good people among humans. After which all the remaining people sit in the helicopter and finally fly away. But then a tsunami comes and takes the whole rig in its arms.
BAAs, who was alive, Butte shining with those insects.
Now Tsunami goes towards the city and starts destroying in which T2. A lot of people are killed, with which the season ends here. Hope you like this, thanks.